Hello, this is Sharon Mistretta, and welcome to a tutorial on how to develop a 3-question quiz in Scratch. First, I'm going to show you an example so that you know what type of program you're heading toward. The green flag in Scratch always starts the action of a program, and the little stop sign stops the action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run this through its paces so you see how your program will look. This is just an example that I developed. So I'm going to press the green flag. Here is my welcoming sentence. Hello and welcome to a quiz on numbering systems used by computers. And what it's asking us to do is to read question 1 and to answer a 1, 2, or 3 in the question window. So what I'm going to be asking you to do is to develop 3 questions with 3 multiple choice answers in your context. So if you are a science and math teacher, choose one of those disciplines and develop a short quiz using a topic that you're covering in class. If you happen to be a generalist or an administrator, you can choose a subject, or you can do a quiz having to do with professional development if you wish. So here, let's just take this through its paces. In question number 1, what I did was I chose to talk about numbering systems used by computers. So the first question is, this numbering system has a base of 8 and uses digits 0 through 7. If you see down at the bottom of the screen, I have a little window that's opened up, and I'm going to take it through its paces to show you the correct answer. So this correct answer of digits 0 through 7 of base 8 is called octal. So I'm going to enter a 2 here. And it says, great job, you entered the correct answer. Then it goes on to the next question. The second question is, this numbering system has a base of 2 and uses digits 0 and 1. So now I have to choose 1, 2, or 3 to answer the question in the quiz window. And I'm going to choose for this one, I'm going to choose 1, which is binary. Great job, you entered the correct answer. And then finally, question 3 is, this numbering system has a base of 16 and uses digits 0 through 9 and A through F. And I'm to answer 1 through 3. And I'm going to enter a 3, which is hexadecimal. It says, great job, you entered the correct answer. Thank you for taking this quiz, and the little robot is going to scoot off toward the left. Okay, so that is the project that you're heading toward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you step by step as to how to code this. So this is something that I want you to learn how to use Scratch. I'm going to be showing you how to use variables, lists, and conditional statements so that you can control the program. What I have found in the past from students of all ages is that when they're coding Scratch, they are trying to put together code that essentially they're doing the work for the computer. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that I want the program to do the work for you. And that's how I want you to approach this. So I'm going to press the little stop sign here. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to show you a Scratch worksheet that is part of the assignment that I want you to fill out. So attached to the assignment on our website is something called Scratch Project Worksheet. And what I want you to do when you receive that is I want you to do in Word a file and a save as. Please make note that not every member of our instructional team has pages. So if you do have pages, just please export something into Word format when you hand it in. So this is what you would do. You would use a save as. Now, what I want to emphasize here is that I'm saving it in what's called camel notation. That's why I have this little camel here. You can see the humps on the camel. And camel notation is an industry standard that we use in programming. And what that means is that you're creating a name, but it doesn't have any spaces in it. So when you see Scratch Project Worksheet, that has no spaces. What I want you to add when you do a save as is your last name. So you're going to use your last name. I have mine. You can see my sample worksheet here that I'm going to show you in one moment. It's Mistretta Scratch Project Worksheet. So what I want you to do is to fill out this worksheet both ahead of time as you're analyzing your project and during your project, so that you might have to amend certain things in your worksheet. But at the final submission of your project, your worksheet should match your project. So everything that's in here should match your project. Now, this is a great tool to use with students because it gets them to plan ahead. What I emphasize with all of my students is that if we are preparing them for the workforce, the present workforce, then we need to emphasize that they are not coding this for themselves. And that's frequently what I find with students in middle school, grammar school, elementary school, and all the way up through adult. The emphasis here is that you are coding this for a customer. I always tell my students that I am their customer. We come to an agreement as to how this project is going to look. Those are their specifications. And then they have to code it according to those specifications. So this is what this worksheet does, is it gives you a chance to gather all of your data in one spot so that you know what you've agreed upon. And then this is also reviewed at the end of the project so that they can do a reflection, because they should reflect on their work as to how they use things, why they use things. So this is the worksheet that I'm asking you to complete with your project. And a lot of it I'm going to be showing you directly in the next few video lessons, but just so you can see my filled out sample. Again, camel notation. I'm asking you, once we start our Scratch program, I'm asking you to put it into camel notation. So it's going to be your last name in the word quiz, and your project must be shared in order for us to see it. What I'm asking you to do is to develop 3 quiz questions. So as you know, I had done 3 questions on the numbering system used by computers. So whatever your context is, you should do 3 questions in that. Just to give you an idea of how this can be used in the classroom, if you have a certain base of vocabulary for your curriculum, then you can divide up that vocabulary among teams of students, and then they are responsible for developing questions and multiple choice answers. So they would, through repetition, they will be able to intimately know the answers to these questions of their portion of the quiz. And then what you would do is you would have them take each other's quiz, and then that is how you would be able to evaluate both their knowledge of the vocabulary and the coding that they've done, because that's going to test it so that you can see if it's correct. You're going to select a backdrop. I had selected a space backdrop. You're going to select a teacher sprite right from Scratch. I'll show you where that is. So I chose the robot. It's called Robot 1. I'm asking you to define exactly where the teacher sprite starts and where the teacher sprite ends. And here on the sample, I've included the Cartesian coordinate plane here so that you can see what the sprite stage looks like. So it's the XY position, start and finish for your sprite. And we'll go into that when I demonstrate the actual programming. I'm asking you to develop your introductory sentence and how many seconds it's going to show. So by keying this into here, you have the benefit of spell check, because Scratch does not spell check. And I do, with my students, I'm very cognizant of grammar and spelling. So there has to have proper punctuation, capitalization, etc. Here we have to write the sentence to draw attention to the quiz. How long are you going to show it? Here, The sentence is to be written is to draw attention and to the selection of the correct answer. This happens to be a type of code that you're going to do an ask and wait. So the wait is based on how long the user takes. So that is not something that we adjust. Here, deciding upon what your correct sentence is. Great job, you entered the correct answer. How long is it going to display? Also, you're going to develop the sentences that if they get the wrong answer, you're going to display the correct answer. There is evidence that shows that during multiple choice tests, if you don't correct them right away with the correct answer, they actually can memorize the wrong answer as if it's correct. So it's important to reinforce what the correct answer is right after they take that particular question of the quiz. Again, how many seconds are you going to show it? In the conclusion sentence, I have thank you for taking this quiz. How long are you going to show it? And then these are the variables that I'm going to show you how to use. A variable is a space in the computer's memory, and you will be able to store and manipulate that data. And then also I have something called events. And what an event is a little subroutine that we use so that we can call that subroutine and let it do something for us, and then it comes back. So again, this is all in the spirit of having the code do the work for us. Also, we have lists. That's our data. So that's where I'm going to put my questions, and they live in memory. I put my questions and their answers. Okay, so that is the description of the project. And then you're going to proceed now to the next lesson.